professional life is about to change. Not because you put in a request, not because you're more deserving than the person in the next cubicle. It's changing because it has been decreed. And when heaven issues a mandate, the earth has no power to stop it. You are about to hear something that will completely reorganize your entire week. Stay with me until the very end. Before we finish, you're going to receive the exact protocol to activate what has already been ordained over your work. I know you showed up here carrying a heavy weight. It's not a sadness you can easily put into words. It's that space between exhaustion and confusion. That nagging feeling that you were born for greatness, yet your daily routine keeps trying to prove the opposite. Maybe it's that Monday morning staff meeting you leave feeling worse than when you walked in. The physical toll of sitting in the same chair, staring at the same monitor, going through the same motions, feeling like nothing you contribute is actually seen. Maybe it's the sensation of being stuck in neutral while everyone else seems to be climbing the ladder. You see someone else get the promotion and you think, I work harder than they do. It's not jealousy. It's the honest ache of someone who knows the system is broken. Or maybe it's that voice that finds you in the shower, in the commute, or in the silence after dinner. The voice that whispers, this wasn't supposed to be my path. You try to drown it out. It keeps coming back. Sometimes it's the Sunday scaries. It's not just anxiety, it's a form of quiet mourning. You look at the week ahead and feel the crushing weight of another 5 days doing something that doesn't fill your soul. But you're still here. You're still standing. That alone is more than many can say. And today, that weight gets a name and an exit strategy. If this word is hitting home, hit that like button right now. That like is your public amen. Heaven takes note of what you confess in the light. I saw every Sunday night. I heard every thought you had in the shower. You weren't alone in that silence. I was designing the exit before you even realized you were in a cage. Here is what you need to understand today. First, the spiritual truth behind what you're feeling. What looks like paralysis isn't failure. It's positioning. When God is about to move someone, He first exhausts every path they would try on their own. That emptiness you feel in your current job isn't a sign that you lack value. It's a sign that you've outgrown the space. Second, a protocol you can execute today. Before this video ends, you'll receive 3 steps to decree the change over your career, without needing your boss's permission, without waiting for a headhunter's call, and without needing anyone to authorize what God has already sealed. Third, a declaration that will resonate tomorrow. You'll leave here with words that, when spoken aloud, something deep inside you will recognize as truth before your rational mind can even question it. Stay until the end. Don't break the connection before you receive what was prepared for you today. Now, I need you to close your eyes for a second, or just look away from the screen, because what I'm about to show you requires your full focus. It's not information, it's recognition. There are specific signs that God is about to move your career. These aren't vague feelings, they are concrete indicators. I'm going to give you 5 right now. The first sign, competence has turned into boredom. You used to be good at this. You mastered it. But mastering it is no longer satisfying, and you can't fake the enthusiasm anymore. You call it burnout or a bad phase. Sometimes you feel guilty, like you should just be grateful to have a paycheck. But what's happening has another name in the spirit. I prepared you here, but your destiny is somewhere else. Boredom isn't ingratitude. It's the sign that the tool has been sharpened and now requires a bigger mission. The second sign, you spend your time dreaming of what could be. In the middle of a Zoom call, during lunch, staring out the window, you find yourself mentally somewhere else, doing a different job, serving in a different way. You call it escapism or a lack of focus. It's not. It's vision that hasn't found its frame yet. You've been given the destination before the map. That image that pops up when you should be paying attention to something else. That image has a real-world address. The third sign, doors that used to swing open are now locking for no reason. You have the resume. You have the experience. But opportunities that seemed like a sure thing are falling through. A job opening gets canceled. A referral goes nowhere. A meeting never happens. You call it bad luck or a tough market. What's happening has another name. Redirection. I close what doesn't serve you to open what was made for you. Every door that slammed shut wasn't rejection. It was protection from a destination that looked right but would have cost you your calling. The fourth sign. A restlessness that standard prayer doesn't fix. You've prayed. You've cried out. You've asked for peace. But the unrest remains. And it confuses you. If you're praying, why isn't the peace coming? This happens when the blockage isn't on the surface. It's rooted in deeper layers that generic prayer doesn't reach. Specific blocks require specific protocols. The prayer has arrived, but it needs a specific target to dismantle what is holding you back. The fifth sign, the feeling that time is moving too fast. You look back and see 3 years, 5 years in the same spot, and you feel an urgency that isn't anxiety. It's a summons. Heaven is signaling that the window is open. Open windows have deadlines. Not because God gives up, but because the appointed time has weight, and you are positioned for this moment, not the next one. If you recognize even one of these signs, type "free" in the comments right now. This decree needs your public agreement. Close your eyes for a second. Take a deep breath. What I'm about to tell you won't work if your attention is divided. Let everything on the outside stay outside for a few minutes. There's a story I need to tell you. It starts with a 17-year-old boy who had the talent long before he had the title. He had dreams that were way too big for the farm where he lived. Those around him saw the dream before he knew the cost, and they tried to bury his calling along with him. That boy was Joseph, and the pit wasn't the end. The pit was the bridge. The prison that came later wasn't a punishment. It was the place where he developed what a palace could never have taught him. Precision under pressure. Management without recognition. Service without an audience. And when God's time arrived, the promotion didn't happen slowly. It happened in one day, in one conversation, with one sentence from Pharaoh that reorganized everything that had been prepared in the dark. What his brothers threw into the pit, God converted into a resume. The 2 years he spent forgotten by the cupbearer prepared the stability for the next 7. Joseph didn't force a single door open. He served where he was until the right door opened for him. I want you to hold a second image alongside that one. In the training of any elite athlete, there's a phase called accumulated fatigue. The coach deliberately increases the workload beyond what the athlete can comfortably sustain. Performance dips. Muscles scream. The athlete thinks they're regressing. They think the training is wrong. They wonder if they even have the talent for it anymore. But the coach knows exactly what he's doing. It's in this exact phase that the body builds the fibers that will sustain the championship performance. What looks like regression is actually invisible construction. You aren't regressing. You are in the phase of accumulated fatigue. The coach knows what he is building. The bridge between these two stories is this. Joseph didn't understand the pit while he was in it. The athlete doesn't see the new muscle fiber while it's being torn. But when the window opens, as it did for Joseph, as it does on game day, everything built in the dark responds in the light. Type Joseph in the comments if you saw yourself in the first story. Or type athlete if the second image hit closer to home. Let me stop for 1 full minute. Here is what is objectively true about you right now. You are still in a waiting position, but you've kept going. That isn't weakness. That is faith in motion. The signs I described aren't coincidences. They form a recognizable pattern in every transition God leads. The blockage you feel isn't an absence of blessing. It's a retained blessing, waiting for the right protocol to be released. And you are on this video today, at this exact moment, not by accident. And here is who you are in the middle of all this. I haven't forgotten what I promised you in the secret place. I know the name of the company. I know the position. I know the date. I prepared the answer before you even finished the question. What looks like waiting to you is positioning to me. And what looks like distance is the exact distance required to ensure that when it arrives, it is recognizable as mine, not as the result of your hustle, but as proof that there was a decree. You aren't someone lost in the job market. You are a person with a specific identity within God's plan. Let me show you 3 of them. You'll know which one is yours. The first identity, the out-of-season expert. You received the skill set before you had the space to use it. You've spent time in environments that felt too small, and that was exactly where you developed what your destiny will demand. When the right door opens, you will walk in ready. You won't need a learning curve that takes others years to climb. The world mistook you for being behind. God calls you prepared. This identity authorizes you to enter without an adaptation period, because the adaptation was done in the shadows. The second identity, the legacy shifter. You carry a calling that didn't start with you and doesn't end with you. The struggle in your career isn't just about you. It's about what you will produce. Provision, a new model, an inheritance for those who come after. You were placed in this moment to flip the script on your family history. What changes in your job isn't just your salary. It's the narrative of your bloodline. This identity authorizes you to make decisions with the weight of generations, not just immediate survival. The third identity, the appointed timer. You exist at a specific moment in history, with a specific set of skills, for a specific window of opportunity. What looked like bad timing was always God's timing. Every closed door protected you from paths that looked right, but would have cost you your purpose. You didn't miss your moment. You are arriving at your moment. The world tries to convince you that you're too late. God positioned you exactly at the hour the decree demands. This identity authorizes you to act with urgency without the anxiety, because you know the time is now. Type which identity you recognize in the comments: expert, legacy, or timing. This is your public decree. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do it now, so the next word finds you already in position. I didn't invent what I'm about to show you. I discovered it after working with hundreds of people who were exactly where you are, talented, faithful, but with blessings held up in their careers. It became clear that basic prayer wasn't enough. Not because God wasn't listening, but because there were specific blockages that needed specific protocols. The Miracle Journal, 21 Days to Unlock Retained Blessings, is that protocol. It works in 3 cycles. Cycle 1 is the break. It identifies and names the specific blocks holding up your career blessing. Not in a general way, with precision, by area, by layer, by origin. What you can't name, you can't dismantle. Cycle 2 is the cleansing. It removes the spiritual structures sustaining the block. Prayer has an address. When it goes to the right place, the walls come down. Cycle 3 is the possession. It activates the blessing that has already been decreed. This isn't asking God again for what He already said He'd give. This is taking possession of what already has your name on it. It's 21 days. Every day has a specific instruction, a targeted prayer, and a high-weight declaration. And it comes with 2 bonuses. Bonus 1 is the prayer guide. 15 prayers for specific moments, including Monday morning, for when a door closes without explanation, for when that Sunday night voice returns. Bonus 2 is the Psalms Manual. 10 Psalms with historical context, meditation, and faith declarations. So the word you speak isn't just repetition, it's understanding. The cost? Less than a Starbucks latte a day for those 21 days. Less than a weekend takeout order. This is what stands between you having the protocol or continuing to wait for something to change on its own. And if you're feeling a hesitation right now, a voice saying, "Wait, I don't know, maybe later," you need to hear this. That hesitation has a name. It is the very blockage the protocol removes, trying to protect itself. The enemy doesn't protest where there is no real threat. There is a 7-day guarantee. If you practice the 21 days and don't see any movement, any opening, any sign, I'll give you back every penny, no questions asked. You keep the bonuses regardless. Here are 3 people who did this before you. A 34-year-old woman on a Wednesday night was on her 5th interview process in 2 years with 0 results. In the 3rd week of the protocol, she received a referral she hadn't even asked for, from someone she hadn't talked to in 3 years. A 41-year-old man on a Saturday morning was in a job that paid the bills but strangled his calling. On day 18 of the protocol, he had a conversation with a VP he never would have initiated and walked out with a proposal that wasn't on anyone's radar. A 27-year-old woman on a Sunday night, feeling exactly the weight I described at the start of this video. She finished the 3 cycles and on the 21st day received a message requesting a meeting she had been waiting for 11 months. What is the cost of staying stuck? Today is more hours in the same place. Every week is a week of retained provision. Every month is another set of opportunities passing by because the door isn't open yet. And every year is a child, a grandchild, an entire lineage waiting on a decision you can make right now. The link is in the first pinned comment. Not tomorrow. Not after your shower. Not after you check with someone. Now, because the decree doesn't wait for convenience. This protocol doesn't replace the 21 days, but it can be done today, right now, before you go to sleep tonight. I call it the protocol of the open decree. It has 3 steps. Step 1, name the place, sit in silence, place your hand on your heart. Say out loud, I name the career God has prepared for me as my retained blessing. Not delayed, but retained. And I decree that the hold has been broken as of this moment. Don't improvise. Say exactly that. Step 2, declare the agreement. Say out loud, I agree with heaven's decree over my work. I do not depend on a man's decision, a company's approval, or a job opening. What was sealed in heaven does not need earth's permission to start moving. Step 3, release control. This is where most people fail. After declaring it, the temptation is to keep calculating. Who will call, which company, which path? Close your eyes for 90 seconds. Don't think, just observe. The sign that the decree has been received isn't euphoria, it's stillness. A stillness that isn't an absence of feeling, but the presence of certainty. Do this today, before you sleep, and watch the next 3 days. In the next 72 hours, 3 things will be thrown at you. Not as a possibility, as a certainty. I'm going to give you their names, because what is named can be resisted. The first tactic is called the false confirmation. A situation will arise at your current job in the next few hours or days that looks like proof that nothing has changed. Someone you expected to be open will be cold. A silence where there should be an answer. An old bill that reminds you of the problem. The enemy will use this event to say, see, it didn't work. Your weapon against this is, you do not judge a decree in the first 72 hours. A decree isn't a feeling, it's a spiritual fact. The silence after a decree isn't a sign of failure. It's the ground being reorganized before the manifestation appears. The second tactic is the voice of delay. A thought will come saying, but it's been so long. What if it's just not for me? This thought will seem reasonable, even mature. It will disguise itself as realism. Your weapon against it. You have already heard the Father's voice today. When the 2 voices conflict, you choose the one that came from inside this video, because it has an address, a name, and precision. The third tactic is misplaced urgency. The enemy will try to redirect your energy into a frantic action, sending out a dozen resumes right now, making an impulsive phone call, accepting a job offer that isn't the right one. Urgency feels like faith in motion. It's not. It's anxiety wearing a faith mask. The weapon. The protocol you did today doesn't need an immediate supplement. The right actions will appear with peace, not with pressure. And after those 3 external tactics, the most subtle one will come. The voice that says you don't deserve what was decreed, that there are people more qualified, that your faith wasn't strong enough. That voice doesn't come from the outside. It knows exactly where you keep your doubt. Its name is the inner enemy, and the only answer is what you declared out loud today. Type "protected" in the comments. The decree is sealed and you've just notified heaven that you are in position. Before you go, I need you to do one thing. Drop your shoulders. Take a deep breath. Not shallow, but deep. A breath that hits your stomach. Now, let go of everything you carried this week regarding your job. The weight of the meeting, the exhaustion of the routine, the pain of feeling invisible, the comparison, the doubt. Let it all go now. Not because it will vanish magically, but because you are trading the weight for the decree. Now place your hand on your chest, close your eyes, and listen to what the Father has to say to you. I saw you on Sunday night, looking at the coming week with that weight you couldn't explain to anyone. I was there. I saw the meeting you left feeling worse than when you walked in. I saw the moment you watched someone else get promoted and you swallowed the pain inside. I saw the shower. I heard the silence after dinner. I didn't ask you to pretend everything was fine. I asked you to stay until the end, and you stayed. What is coming isn't a reward for your patience. It is the appointed time that was set before you even existed. I know the name. I know the place. I know the person who is going to open the door, and I have already spoken to them. You aren't going to miss this window. I am guarding it. What belongs to me is never lost. It is only in transit. You are covered. Your mind is covered. Your relationships are covered. The timing is in the Father's hands, and that timing has already been declared over your work. The decree has been issued. The word has left heaven, and it shall not return void. Amen. Type "done" in the comments right now, not as confirmation that it has manifested visibly yet, but as an agreement that what was decreed is finished in the Spirit. Think of one person, just one, not a group, who is carrying the same career weight you brought here today. Send this video to them now. Just a message, a link, no long text needed. And if they want to go deeper, the link to the Miracle Journal is in the first pinned comment, waiting for them the same way it waited for you. The next video will talk about something that happens right after the decree is made, when the movement starts, but isn't yet visible. You'll want to be here for that. It is done. You are not the same person you were when this message began.